Hello everyone, it's me from Without a Crystal Ball. So, this is going to be a quick stream. It is the 5th installment of Farrah Abraham's comedy documentary, Docu comedy. Farrah is attempting to become a comedian, but Farrah has said on her previous docu comedies she doesn't have the time to go to a comedy like club to do or practice her comedy. So instead, what she's doing is she's uploading videos on YouTube, which are really hard to figure out if they're funny or not because her delivery isn't very good, in my opinion. And it's hard to tell, like, fact from fiction because it's clear she's talking about her life and, like, making fun of herself. But she's also, like, it's not very funny, I guess. I don't know. I don't laugh when I'm watching it. I mostly just, like, scratch my head. I mean, good for her if this is really like an angle that she wants to pursue and this is what she wants to do. But at the same time, like, it would probably be better to get feedback from people online or at a club. But she doesn't have time for that because she's a busy mother. Now, in this one, it's like 30 minutes, you guys. And I'm not even going to lie. I couldn't even watch the whole thing because it's really hard to follow. She talks about in the beginning about how she likes to make fun of herself because nobody makes fun of her. Nobody can do better making fun of her than her, I guess. I don't know. I've never seen her make fun of herself in the media or on anything, so I don't know what she's talking about there. She talks about, like, seeing Jeff Bezos at the Emmys and how it was really amazing, but she just happened to be sitting next to him, I guess. And then she started talking about how, you know, she's going to get on Amazon and have her show on Amazon. Who knows if that will even happen. And then she was talking about Jonathan Shaban, I don't even know how to say his last name, of the best friend of Kim Kardashian. Briefly talks about Kim Kardashian. And then she just rambles for, like, ever and ever and ever. And it's, like, hard to keep track of where she's going. She's talking about TikTok with her daughter and men doing scams to look at women's vajayjays and how men are trying to always look at her vajayjay. Okay, but there's a pretty interesting part here on this video where she actually goes right into, well, I'll just show you.
All those men were just like, where's my football? Football, football. Yes, football. You know, so the stores, like there was a little part of my brain that just fell out there.
Did you see that? She's like, and then she put her hands up to her nose, and then she, like, pulls it out, and then she's like, a little piece of my brain just fell out. Now, mind you, this video could literally have been edited. She couldn't, this wasn't like a live stream. She could have edited that out. I will play it again. Yes. But watch this again.
And we're just like, where's my football? Football, football. Yes, football. You know, so the stores, like there was a little part of my brain that just fell out there.
Okay, hold on one second. I didn't put the video on.
Where's my football? Football, football. Yes, football. You know, so the stores, like there was a little part of my brain that just fell out there. The stores were a blessing, right? And I still have to deal with liability problems, like...
Okay, so if you notice, she was like... And then she, like, picked something out, and then she's like... It's like something, like a little bit of my brain just fell out. And throughout this entire video... Now, I don't know if she's sick. I don't know if she has like a cold or if she has allergies. I have no idea. It's 1:00 at night. She's rambling incoherently. I have zero idea if there's a substance in her body, but she's going like this. And then she's like, part of my brain fell out, and she's like, either got a booger on her hand or there's like some sort of substance on her fingers. And she does, like, she sniffs a lot during this video. She's like, it just seems weird, right? And it's quite interesting, but I'll play this next part for you. I mean, like, the thing is like, she could have gotten it to the editing board and edited that part out, but she kept it in, which, why would you keep the part in where you're literally picking your nose, Farrah? And then she just continues on like nothing happened. And here's what she says after that.
Years after it closes stores, and I handle it like a champ. And that's why I say I'm so done with brick and mortar. I'm actually so done with people being able to find me. I mean, God bless that we could all show up to online to see me, right? Like, a safe spot for everyone. You're there and I'm here. Thank you. But I've realized, like, all of these lawsuits and, like, suing, and people are just sue happy losers, and they get really nothing ever, and they're always out money when they come for me, and I actually feel bad that they're that broke and ridiculous in their mindset to come after a freaking widow, a teen mom, a single mom. Like, shouldn't you feel bad about that? Like, seriously.
Okay, so Farrah is like, if you notice, she's like, I'm so tired of people trying to find me, referencing the lawsuits that are going on in Texas related to her landlord. And she's talking about how she's tired of people trying to sue her, and they never get anything out of it. They just waste their money and they waste their time. So I did a little digging, and I checked the current lawsuit that's going on in Texas, where her former landlord is suing her for breach of contract for not paying her leases, I think, for August and September of last year, which she said was from 2 years ago. It actually wasn't. It was from 2018. And she is being sued for just over $100,000. She said, so they did finally serve her on August or September, early September. And then on September 26th, she was filed a response, and it says that there was like an appearance. I don't know if the appearance was by her or by an attorney. It just said defendant. So she did file a response to the lawsuit. So at least the lawsuit now is moving forward. But it's interesting because she's acting like she doesn't have to pay these things because there's nothing to pay. But she, according to the documents in this case, was still in the middle of a lease and just closed her shop and stopped paying for rent. Now, I understand if the business closes, and she didn't have stuff in there, but she still had a lease that she was responsible for. I think the responsible thing would have probably been to try to renegotiate the lease with the landlord because the products or the business was closing. But it doesn't sound like she does that I could tell. Now, I'm not sure if she did. But if she acts like she doesn't have to pay that, she doesn't have to respond to this, she's rambling on and on and on. She keeps sniffing her nose. So she's like, I don't know if you noticed how many times she's like, and she's like going from one topic to a next. So she's like having a flight of ideas. She can't really keep track of what she's talking about. I am extremely concerned about what's going on here. I don't know if it's drugs. I don't know if she's sick. But I do know that if she's serious about doing comedy, that probably the better thing to do here would be to actually sit down and edit the parts out that might not make you look super flattering. Perhaps have some sort of script written so that it doesn't come off rambling. And talking about your life isn't really funny if you're not being funny. Like, there's really nothing funny about what she's saying, in my opinion. If you think it's funny, and you could point me to the direction where you're laughing, I would love to know. But I don't laugh when I watch her stuff, you guys. She's been making the rounds. She has been on a bunch of podcasts lately. She's been running around with Sophia and bringing her places. She thinks that Sophia is going to be the next best thing. And let's not forget that if you want to go on a date with her, you can spend $5,000 and all you have to do is pass a basic background check. So, in a bid to stay relevant, I'm not sure why she's going down this comedy gold crap. This video was uploaded last night on YouTube. It has only 5,000 views on her page. Farrah Abraham's YouTube account has over 147,000 subscribers. Theoretically, based on her subscriber count, her videos should be doing a lot better than they are, which begs the question, are these real subscribers? Is it a dead channel? Why aren't people watching? And I know whenever I bring up these, like, it brings more people to her channel, but at the same time, it's like, what the hell, Farrah? You have so many other things. Now, the other question, Aussie Jean, thank you so much for pointing that out, is that when she was talking about the lawsuits, she was saying that she can't be sued. Like, don't people have sympathy for somebody who is a widow and a single mom? Well, I'm pretty sure that being a widow and a single mom doesn't preclude you from having to pay on your legal requirements and contracts. If you're in a contract with someone and you break the contract, you have to pay the amounts due, or you have to come to an agreement. But there's this whole widow thing that keeps coming up, and it's something that she's really like fixated on talking about, which really has me sort of concerned here because, okay, Derek died like what, when she was 16 or 17 years old. In order to be a widow, like from a legal standpoint, to have benefits through Social Security, like through the federal government, to have widow status for that kind of stuff, you have to be legally married. Now, I understand people that are in like long-term partnerships where they aren't married also will consider themselves widows, but you technically have to be in a relationship with the person when that individual passes away. And when this happens, here's the thing, like Farrah and Derek dated for maybe a couple months, and when he died, she and him were not in a relationship. They weren't talking, and she had actually, do you like how my dogs just knocked everything off my couch? She would have to be in a relationship with him to have it be considered a widow, and she wasn't. It was a high school boyfriend that she had broken up with, and she never even told him that she was pregnant. He passed away in a car accident, sadly. So I don't know why she keeps playing up this widow thing, and I think it is kind of offensive to individuals that really are widows or widowers, that did lose a spouse or a significant other while they were in a relationship. I think it's a disservice to that word, and I think it's sort of offensive to them. So I really do wish she would lighten the load and stop referring to herself as a widow. We understand that she grieves the loss of Derek, but this relationship was, 10 years ago, 11 years ago, and it was barely a relationship. Yes, it resulted in a child, so of course it was a meaningful one, but they were, again, not together. So this is all I've got on Farrah. Oh my gosh, my dog is going crazy because it's time to eat, you guys. I'm going to go make some dinner. I hope you have a good afternoon, rest of the afternoon, good evening, good morning. And earlier in chat, what was I going to say? Oh, I totally forgot. Okay. It is kibble time, but I will be back later. I'm going to think about doing another stream tonight. If not, I'll be back tomorrow. I'll do some more Kate Goslin, and I will be looking for another bad mom to start covering. All right, you guys. Bye.